Okay, game. Uh, so on this video, I will be discussing the OSI model, part ng Network Administration subject. Okay, so ano ba yung OSI? Stands for Open System Interconnection. So bago tayo mag-proceed dyan, ano muna yung mga learning objectives natin? So by the end of the session, dapat able na kayong define kung ano ba yung OSI model and then explain why it is used in networking. And identify the 7 layers of the OSI model in the correct order. So from 7 hanggang 1, baliktad, no? Descending siya, no? So explain natin mamaya kung bakit ganon. And then number 3, describe the main function of each OSI layer. As you can see, meron tayong 7 OSI layer. So define natin siya isa-isa mamaya. And then identify common protocols, devices, and data units associated with the layers. And then also, we can explain how data moves from one computer to another using, syempre, yung OSI layer pa rin, pero encapsulation and decapsulation. Then lastly, paano ginagamit ang OSI model as a basic guide for troubleshooting network problems. So sana malakas yung boses ko. Sisigaw na lang ako, parang mahina kasi yung capture. Okay, intro muna tayo. For example, meron tayong computer A and B na nag-send ng message. O yan, hello. Pag-click niya ng send, makikita na syempre dun sa receiver. So behind the scenes, hindi natin alam kung ano yung processes na pinagdaanan para makarating siya dun sa receiver, dun sa devices na pagsisendan natin ng message na hello. So ito po yung nangyayari behind the scenes habang dumadaan siya dito sa OSI layer natin. Okay? So imagine computer A wants to send a message to computer B. It may look simple to the users. You type a message, click send, and another person receives it. Okay? So behind the scene, however, many things happen. So dito, sa image na example nito, ito yung mga layers natin na pinagdadaanan. Okay? So to help us understand these different networking responsibilities, we use the OSI model. So ano ba yung OSI? OSI stands for Open System Interconnection. The OSI model is a conceptual framework that divides network communication into 7 layers. Now, each layer has a particular responsibility. Okay? So, i-breakdown natin siya isa-isa. So, dito, yung number 7 layer natin ay tinatawag na application. Number 6 naman, presentation. 5 session, 4 transport. 3 network, and then 2 data link, and then lastly, number 1 natin is yung physical layer. Okay? So, bakit kaya pabaliktad, sir? Mamaya, didiscuss natin bakit hindi mauna yung physical, bakit nasa 7 agad din nauna. Okay? So, mamaya didiscuss natin yan, pupuntahan natin yan. So, importante na, abisado natin itong OSI layer. Okay? The next, bakit ba natin kailangan pag-aralan yung OSI? Hindi naman natin yan nakikita. Okay, kahit ako, ayoko eh. So, kailangan kasi natin yan to help network administrator understand networking, troubleshoot problems, understand yung mga different networking devices na ginagamit natin, and also yung mga protocols. Okay? So, sa networking, ayan, instead of studying network communication as one huge process, so napakalaki kasi, pag sinabi natin network, o internet pa lang, global na yan, so we divide it into small parts. Yun nga, yung 7 OSI layers natin. So, we can troubleshoot problems, determine which part of networking may be causing the problem. Kapag nagkaroon tayo ng problema na hindi tayo maka-access sa network or wala tayong internet, so saang layer pa tayo pwedeng pumunta? And then, kailangan natin, para at least then, dito sa understand devices, maintindihan natin kung ano yung mga different devices na possible nagkakos ng problem, kung bakit tayo hindi makakonect sa network. Then lastly, para maintindihan natin yung mga protocols niya. Okay? So example, ikaw ay nawalan ng internet, instead of immediately replacing equipment, a network administrator can troubleshoot systematically. Okay? Hindi porket, for example, yung user is nawalan ng internet, kala niya sira na yung laptop niya o bibili na siyang bago. So meron kasing possible na simple problems lang na pwede natin gamitin yung OSI model. So first thing to check, syempre check natin yung cable. If ang ginagamit ko is cable. connected. So baka mamaya hindi lang naka-unplug. Possible, may putol, kinatkat ng daga, or may nagtanggal lang. O kaya for example, luma na yung kable mo, kailangan lang palitan pala. O doon yun papasok sa layer 1 which is yung physical natin. Then next, pwede din natin i-check yung network adapter. Papasok yan ng data link layer. Pwede natin gawin, tingnan natin yung network adapter options natin. Baka naka-disable lang. Pwede natin i-disable and enable. Okay, so siguro may students naman dito na alam na kung paano mag-check ng network cables, yung mga network adapters, kung gumagana pa o hindi. Baka doon lang yung problem instead of bumili agad ng pamalit. So, next thing to do is check the IP address. So, papasok yan sa network layer natin. Doon na papasok if nakakakuha ba tayo ng IP address. Okay, so by default kasi, ang setup ng ating ginagamit na system is dynamic IP. So meaning, naghihintay lang yung computer natin na maka-receive ng IP address dun kay DHCP. Okay, sa server, DHCP server na meron tayo sa network. Okay, so next thing naman, kung okay naman yun, pwede natin check yung transport layer. So dito natin ma-check kung whether a service port is reachable. Okay? For example, may na-access kang computer, bakit hindi natin siya ma-access over the network? No? Pwede tayong pumunta ng transport layer. And then, sa checking naman ng application, for example, gagamit ka ng browser, baka mamaya yung browser mo lang may problema, or for example, minsan yung date and time ng computer mo, hindi updated, most likely, kahit may internet ka na, kung hindi updated yung date and time or hindi siya real time, hindi siya makaka-access na internet. Pwede rin sa browser. Okay? So, doon yun papasok sa layer 7 which is yung application layer natin. Okay? So, yun yung importance ng OSI layer natin. Bakit natin siya kailangan at least tignan. Okay? Next natin, dito pala ito na slide. Yan na lang para mas malapit. Okay, so yan. Start muna tayo dito sa layer 7 natin. Application layer natin is the layer closest to the user. It provides network services that applications can use. So, example tayo, pwedeng web browsing, email, file transfer, name resolution, remote access. Okay, so ito yung example natin. When you open a browser and visit a website, application layer protocols allow the browser to communicate with network services. Okay, so user opens web browser like for example Chrome, Firefox, Brave. Ayan, tapos magta-type ka na lang website, web address o yung URL. Tapos ayan, papasok na yan sa network. Doon na papasok kung ano-ano na yung mga next step na mangyayari hanggang makuha mo na dyan sa monitor mo o sa screen. Pabalik na sa'yo yung request na tinype mo doon sa browser na ginamit mo. Okay? So layer 7 provides network services to applications. And then sa layer 6 naman, presentation layer deals with how data is represented or formatted. Okay? So parang more on security ito eh. Parang i-caps, lalagyan niya ng data formatting, encoding, encryption, and then compression. Yung data, for example, magsasend ka ng message, hindi kasi hello. For example, direct mo hello, hindi yun hello over the network na naka-hello now. Okay? So magkakaroon pa yan, dadaan pa yan siya dito sa presentation. So suppose you send information securely through an encrypted connection. Ito yung possible, ito yung mangyayari kapag gano'n. So data formatting, data is organized into a standard format. Encoding, data is converted into a common code or character set. Encryption, data is encrypted to protect it from unauthorized access. Compression, data is compressed to reduce size for efficient transmission. Tapos, saka siya papasok ng network, then mapupunta sa receiver. Okay? So, yung layer 6 natin handles data representation. Next, dito naman tayo sa session layer natin, number 5. Siya ay responsible for managing communication sessions between systems. Okay? So, conceptual responsibilities. Example natin, kung gusto mo ipag-communicate ng computer A dun sa server, ito yung mangyayari. Merong connection established between computer A and the server. Data is sent and received. The session layer keeps the communication active and synchronized, and then the connection is properly closed. Okay, so kung makikita nyo dito sa left side, conceptual responsibilities, so parang siya yung nag-handle ng conversation or voice call natin or pwede rin video call. So siya yung nag-establish ng session between two communicating system. Siya rin yung nag-maintain ng session to keep sessions active and manage communication. Controls the exchange of data between system, and then siya rin yung mag-end kapag okay na, nakapag conversation na kayo na maayos. So terminate the session with communication is complete. So layer 5 manages communication sessions. Okay? So again, nandito na tayo sa session 5. And then next, dito naman tayo sa transport layer natin is responsible for end-to-end data transport between application. So parang siya naman yung delivery man. Okay, so yan, kaya may delivery truck kayo nakikita dyan. So meron tayong two types, TCP, which is Transmission Control Protocol, or UDP naman, Users Datagram Protocol. So ito yung difference nila. TCP provides reliable connection-oriented delivery. So, while the UDP is connectionless and has less delivery overhead. So yan, common application using TCP, web services, email, file transfer, online banking, and then examples naman ng UDP, pwedeng streaming, voice communication, online games, or DNS. Okay, so layer 4 is deliver data between application using protocols such as TCP and UDP. Now, pagdating naman dito sa network layer, siya yung nag-handle ng logical addressing and routing between networks. So it uses IP address. So familiar naman kayo dito. So ito is IPv4. So the most important concept here is the IP address. So layer 3 determines how packets can travel from one network to another. Okay? So example natin, your computer has an IP address na ganito, needs to communicate with a server on another network. So si router, siya yung tumutulong para ma-forward yung traffic toward the destination. So siya yung nagke-create ng path kung paano niya ma-deliver yung data sa tamang destination niya. Okay? So router examines layer 3 information, uses IP address to forward packets toward their destination. So sa Cisco nyo, meron na yan. Meron naman na kayo siguro Cisco. Alam nyo na kung para sa inyong IP address. And then, yun. So more on this, dito sa mga IP addressing natin, later on, titignan natin yan sa mga next discussion. Pero kung mas malaliman, doon na kasi papasok yung Cisco networking. Okay? So dito, important concepts regarding sa IP address. IPv4 stands for Internet Protocol version 4. Ito yung example IP address niya, which is class C. Pagdating din sa mga class, later on, i-discuss din natin yan. And then yung IPv6 naman, ito naman yung version 6. So later on, i-discuss din natin bakit may version 4, bakit may version 6. So sa mga susunod na discussion natin. So IP addressing assigns unique logical addresses to devices. Routing naman determines the best path for packets to reach the destination. And yung routers, devices that connects networks and forward packets using layer 3 information. Okay? So, again, key idea natin dito kay network layer, determines where packet needs to go across the networks. Okay? Now, dito naman sa data link, handles naman communication across a local network link. So, kung kanina, over the network, si network layer ang mag-proseso nun. Dito naman kay data link layer, kahit local network lang. Okay? So an important concept as this layer is the MAC address. So kung kanina IP address yung pinag-uusapan natin, ngayon si MAC address naman yung ginagamit dito sa data link layer naman. So MAC address identifies a network interface at data link layer. So for example, pag yung computer ANB natin is connected to a single network, gamit itong Ethernet switch. The switch uses its MAC address table to determine where frame should be forwarded. Okay? Parang same lang din ni router. Kaya nga lang, si switch is localized lang or within the local area network lang. Kaya MAC address lang yung ginagamit niya. Okay? So layer 2 ensures reliable delivery of data across the same local network by using MAC address and Ethernet frames. And then lastly, meron tayo dito ang physical link. Siya yung responsible for transmitting raw bits through the physical queue. Okay, so what layer 1 does, responsible siya for transmitting raw bits through the physical medium. Ito yung mga example natin. It can involve copper cables, nasa na yung mouse, yun. Fiber optic cables, pwede ring radio signal kung wireless, connectors naman, electrical signals, optical, and then physical interfaces. So, ito rin pala siya. So, yan. Pamilyar naman kayo siguro, ayan yung ginagamit natin, UTP, may fiber optic cable na tayo, which is mas mabilis mag-transport ng data. And then ito yung connector natin, which is yung RJ45. And then pwede rin through radio transmission or wireless fidelity, Wi-Fi. So what happens at layer 1? Bits are converted into electrical, optical, or radio signal and transmitted across the physical medium. The receiving device converts the signal back into bits. Okay? So meaning siya yung dinadaanan ng data. For example, fiber optic yung ginamit natin dito. Para makapunta siya doon, dadaan siya dito sa medium natin. Ngayon, kung wireless naman, radio signals yung gagamitin ng physical layer natin. Okay? So layer 1 moves the active bits across the transmission. Okay. So yun yung ating pitong OSI model. So, yun yung function niya, isa-isa. So, sa haba-haba ng sinabi ko, ito yung summary na pwede nating mas madali ma-memorize. Okay? So, meron tayo dito kung anong layer number, pangalan ng layer, function, and then yung mga examples kung paano siya gumagana. So, ulitin natin. So, si application layer, ang function niya ay network services for application, and yung mga examples kung magpa-browse, and then presentation naman, data, representation, encoding, encryption, and then compression. Session naman, session management, siya mag-i-establish ng call, maintain calls, and then also terminate, start and stop. Transport naman, end-to-end application transport. Ito na yung TCP and UDP. So, siya yung delivery man natin. Network naman, ayan, may router tayo. So, logical addressing and routing. It uses IP address, yan, saka mga router devices natin. Data link naman, local link delivery, uses network switches, hubs, yun. Uses also MAC address compared to IP address na ginagamit ng network din natin. Port din, and syempre yung ating network switch. And then yung physical, yung medium ginagamit natin, converts it to transmissions of bits, and then yan, yung mga medium. And UTP, fiber optic, for radio signals. Okay? Now, meron tayong encapsulation and then decapsulation. So ano yun naman yun? So dito, kung mapapansin nyo, kapag ikaw ay magiging sender, for example, magsisend ka nga ng message, katulad dun sa example natin on the first slide, kung isesend mo yung hello na message, ang mangyayari dun sa OSI, encapsulation side. So meaning, ang process na mangyayari siya from 7 hanggang 1. Now, kung mapupunta na yung message mo dun sa receiver, ang mangyayari from 1 to 7. Okay, parang i-reverse niya lang din yung process. Okay, so yun yung pinaka-basic explanation ng encapsulation and decapsulation. So as it moves through the network stack, protocol information is added so the data can be transmitted correctly. So may process na pinagdadaanan, which is yung OSI model natin. From 7, application hanggang physical, and then kapag marireceive na ng receiver, decapsulation na ang gagawin, papasok ulit yan sa OSI model natin. So na-receive yan ng 1, mag-uumpisa siya sa 1 hanggang 2, 3, 4 until papunta siya sa application layer. Okay? Uy, tapos na. So yun, that's it. Ito yung discussion natin for the OSI model. So may importante maintindihan natin to para at least magamit din natin sa troubleshooting guide kapag kayo ay isang network administrator. Okay? So that's it. May quiz to. Mamaya, makikita nyo na lang dun sa link na isa-send ko sa inyo. So again, that's all for this video. That's it. Okay, bye-bye.